You ever wake up, check your phone, and see something so outrageous you think the simulation glitched? Yeah, that was the internet the moment 50 Cent opened his mouth and compared Chris Brown to Michael Jackson. Not just compared, he promoted him. Called him a triple threat greater than MJ. Excuse me. What timeline is this? Did Thanos snap music history in half? We're talking about Michael Jackson, the man who moonwalked through decades, outdanced physics, and outsold entire generations. And now 50 Cent, the guy who once threw a microphone at a sound engineer, is out here rewriting pop culture's commandments like Moses with a mixtape within minutes. Twitter turned into a digital war zone. MJ fans pulled out sales charts like sacred scrolls. Breezy stans countered with backflips, falsettos, and YouTube compilations titled "Proof Chris Brown is Him." Memes flew faster than Usher dodging drama, and the craziest part, 50 Cent doubled down. He said what he said and meant it. So, buckle up, because this isn't just a debate about music, this is a cultural meltdown, a generational fistfight, and the wildest comparison since someone said Kanye's the new Picasso. Grab your popcorn. The internet's on fire. When 50 Cent speaks, chaos follows. It's a law of nature at this point, somewhere between gravity and celebrity delusion. The man could tweet "Good morning" and start a 5-hour Twitter war. So when he decided to casually call Chris Brown a triple threat greater than Michael Jackson, the internet didn't just react, it combusted. Think nuclear meltdown mixed with fanbase hysteria. 1 minute, people were streaming Thriller. The next, they were quoting "Take You Down" like scripture. Twitter threads turned into history dissertations. TikTok debates had PowerPoint slides. And YouTube? Oh, YouTube turned it into a cultural courtroom. The quote dropped like a bomb. 50 Cent was doing an interview minding his own business, talking about talent and entertainment when out of nowhere he declared, "Chris Brown is a triple threat, better performer, singer, and dancer than Michael Jackson." The silence after that was louder than his last album rollout. The interviewer froze like Wi-Fi buffering. Fans lost oxygen. Within an hour, the clip was viral. People didn't even know what they were more shocked about, the claim itself or the confidence with which he said it. Let's be real, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. The man has made a career out of saying the most outrageous things with a straight face. This is the same guy who publicly roasted his own son, trolled entire industries, and once started beef with a whole network because they delayed his show. So, when 50 says something, you don't ask why, you ask who's crying next. But this time, he didn't just stir the pot, he threw the whole kitchen, because calling Chris Brown greater than Michael Jackson isn't just a hot take, it's sacrilege. MJ fans have been defending his throne since before Wi-Fi existed. These are the same people who've been moonwalking in comment sections for decades, ready to strike at any heresy. They treat Billie Jean like the national anthem. So when 50 made that comparison, they mobilized like a digital army. Tweets turned militant. Chris Brown wishes, they typed with fury, attaching grainy concert footage of MJ levitating on stage while people fainted like dominoes. The energy was biblical. But here's the twist, Chris Brown fans weren't backing down either. They came armed with receipts, choreography breakdowns, and vocal analysis threads that look like PhD dissertations. Chris can sing, dance, act, paint, and backflip, they argued. MJ walked. Breezy flew. The battle lines were drawn. Suddenly, it wasn't just a debate, it was a generational war. Millennials vs. Gen Z, vinyls vs. streaming, moonwalk vs. front flip. And in the middle of it all, 50 Cent, smirking like the Joker, watching the world burn from his mansion. As the drama unfolded, celebrities began chiming in because why not? It's Hollywood. Silence doesn't sell. Some agreed with 50. A few rappers posted cryptic tweets like "Breezy really that guy though," stirring the pot further. Others came out swinging in MJ's defense. One R&B legend wrote, "Respect to Chris, but there's only one king of pop and he wore one glove." That comment alone spawned an entire meme cycle. People photoshopped 50 wearing MJ's glove, dancing badly, and captioned it "When trolling becomes theology." But let's pause and appreciate the comedy of it all. 50 Cent, a rapper known for beef, bullets, and business moves, is suddenly the self-appointed judge of pop hierarchy. The man whose biggest dance move was dodging lawsuits is out here evaluating choreography. That's like DJ Khaled judging marathon runners. It makes no sense, and that's exactly why it works. Controversy is currency, and 50's been rich off chaos since 2003. By day 2, the debate had evolved from chaotic tweets to full-blown conspiracy theories. People started suggesting 50 was promoting something, maybe a Chris Brown collab, maybe a docu-series, maybe just his ego. The internet doesn't believe in coincidences anymore. Every hot take is a marketing plan. Still, fans dissected every word like a prophecy. Triple threat, they quoted. Singer, dancer, performer. They replayed old Chris Brown performances, the MJ tribute at the BET Awards, the 2010 Grammys, and argued here and that title. Meanwhile, MJ stans brought out the big gun stats, numbers, records, cultural impact. Thriller still outsells entire discographies. MJ changed fashion, music videos, philanthropy, the whole landscape. Chris Brown might be talented, they said, but MJ invented the template. It was like watching history and modernity punch each other in the face. Comment sections became boxing rings, and the algorithm was the referee, counting views and ad revenue. As the dust started to settle, something wild happened. The debate got academic. Journalists began writing op-eds titled, "The Chris Brown vs. Michael Jackson Debate Exposes Our Obsession with Comparisons." Music scholars popped up on podcasts analyzing the evolution of performance artistry. Someone even launched a poll asking, who's the greater performer? Millions voted. MJ won, but Breezy fans called it rigged by nostalgia. You'd think the uni needed to intervene. Then came the memes. The memes. The internet's favorite weapon. One viral post showed 50 Cent photoshopped as a judge holding a gavel, with MJ on one side of the courtroom and Chris Brown doing a backflip on the other. Caption: Order in the Cloud Court. Another had Chris Brown moonwalking with the words, "Your move, Michael." Even MJ fans couldn't resist laughing, though some did it through clenched teeth. But the wildest twist was how Chris Brown reacted. He didn't deny it. He didn't even humble brag. He posted a simple emoji, the thinking face. That's it. No caption. No rant. Just vibes. And that one emoji sent the internet spiraling. MJ fans took it as arrogance. Breezy fans took it as confirmation. He knows. One fan tweeted dramatically. He knows he's that guy. It was performance art disguised as silence. By the third day, the entire entertainment industry was weighed down by think pieces, reaction videos, and livestream debates. Influencers milked the topic like it was the last drop of Wi-Fi clout. One YouTuber even dressed as both MJ and Chris Brown, arguing with himself for views. It was peak internet insanity. And guess who was trending again? 50 Cent, the chaos conductor himself. Mission accomplished. But behind all the noise, a deeper truth started emerging. The reason people were losing their minds wasn't just about music, it was about memory. MJ represents untouchable legacy. Chris Brown represents raw modern talent battling controversy. Comparing the two felt like comparing myth to man, legend to living. And yet, 50's comment forced everyone to confront the uncomfortable question: has the new generation already replaced its idols? That question alone fueled another wave of outrage. OG fans said, never, while younger fans replied, he already did. It became less about talent and more about time. The old guard versus the new wave. And 50 Cent, ever the puppet master, sat back and watched the engagement climb. He didn't clarify. He didn't apologize. He just reposted a meme of himself with the caption, "You're arguing. I'm counting." That's vintage 50 trolling his way into trending heaven, and then the celebrities doubled down. Usher gave a diplomatic answer in an interview. They're both amazing. But Mike opened the doors for all of us. Translation: don't cancel me. Please. Justin Bieber liked a pro-Chris post and immediately got roasted. Janet Jackson's team reportedly unfollowed someone who joked about it. The pop culture universe was spinning. Even older icons chimed in, calling the comparison disrespectful, but controversy feeds attention. And attention is the new fame. As days passed, the internet's obsession mutated into memes, fake quotes, and fan edits. Someone deep-faked MJ and Chris performing side by side. Millions watched, forgetting it wasn't real. TikTok was flooded with challenges like MJ vs. Breezy dance off. Kids born after MJ's death were suddenly defending him like personal lawyers. It wasn't just a debate anymore, it was cultural warfare disguised as fandom. And the funniest part, 50 Cent didn't care. He knew exactly what he'd done. The man built his empire on controversy, from calling out Ja Rule to clowning Madonna. Comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson was just another chess move in his lifelong game of watch me break the internet. He said what everyone else was too scared to say, not because he believed it, but because he knew it would echo. By the end of week 1, the digital storm had become entertainment history. People were making documentaries about the discourse. Podcasts dissected the 50 Cent effect. Some fans swore they'd never listen to In Da Club again until they did, because let's be honest, that beat still hits. The whole saga was proof that in today's world, opinions are performances. Facts don't trend. Feelings do. And 50 Cent gave people a feeling: outrage, nostalgia, confusion, entertainment, all wrapped into one soundbite. The final twist came when a reporter asked 50 if he'd take back his statement. He laughed. "Nah," he said. "Chris Brown can do backflips. Mike couldn't." The internet collectively screamed. Memes exploded again. Some said he was trolling. Others said he was dead serious. Either way, he got what he wanted: attention. And in the world of celebrity media, attention is the only currency that never crashes. Because here's the truth. 50 Cent didn't just start a debate, he exposed a generation's obsession with hierarchy. We crave kings and legends, but we can't stop trying to replace them. We don't celebrate. We compare. Every new star must face the ghosts of greatness. And 50, being the master manipulator of media chaos, threw gasoline on that fire just to watch it glow. At the end of the day, whether Chris Brown is greater than Michael Jackson is irrelevant. What matters is that 50 made us talk, argue, meme, and rewatch performances we hadn't thought about in years. He reminded everyone that controversy is art, and he's still the Picasso of provocation. The world spun, the fans screamed, and 50 laughed because once again, he played everyone perfectly. By the time the dust settled, it wasn't even about music anymore, it was about who could yell the loudest. MJ fans weren't just defending an artist, they were defending a religion. Chris Brown fans weren't just hyping their favorite, they were avenging years of being called the discount version. It was war disguised as nostalgia. And 50 Cent, he was somewhere counting engagement like royalty collecting taxes. The man weaponized opinion for sport, and we all paid him in views. But here's where the story flips, because while the internet was busy setting fire to the timeline, the industry started whispering. Labels, execs, promoters, everyone started talking about performance energy. Suddenly, award shows wanted Chris Brown moments. Producers started hunting for that same charisma, that mix of danger and discipline. The debate might have started as clickbait, but it accidentally reignited appreciation for artistry. For a second, people remembered not the scandals, not the memes, but the grind behind the greatness. Still, the hypocrisy was wild. The same people who canceled Chris 5 years ago were now uploading edits of him doing MJ tributes, claiming they always knew he was next up. Internet memory is shorter than a TikTok attention span. One viral moment and suddenly everyone's rewriting history. That's the magic of controversy, it cleanses reputations faster than PR teams ever could. All 50 had to do was say the forbidden words and boom, the narrative flipped like a mixtape intro. Meanwhile, hardcore MJ fans turned into digital detectives, digging up old interviews, old performances, finding every clip where Chris Brown called MJ his idol. "See," they said triumphantly, "even he knows his place." They treated that quote like divine proof. It didn't matter that Chris has been paying homage for years. Context doesn't trend. Conflict does. The internet doesn't want peace, it wants popcorn. And you can't blame them. We live in a world where opinions are currency and outrage is entertainment. 50 Cent understands that better than anyone. He doesn't post to express, he posts to explode. His social media isn't a feed, it's a detonator. Every word is crafted to divide, to provoke, to spark chaos. That's why he'll forever be relevant. Not because he's right, but because he knows how to make people feel wrong. But what's funny is how both sides secretly made the same point. MJ fans screamed about legacy. Breezy fans screamed about evolution. And both are true. Michael Jackson was the foundation. Chris Brown is the echo. One built the stage, the other flipped on it. The debate isn't blasphemy, it's proof of influence. Legends don't die when replaced. They live through the competition they inspire. And if 50 hadn't thrown that verbal grenade, none of this reflection would have happened. Then came the final curveball. Chris Brown actually addressed it. Quietly, calmly, during a show. He looked out at the crowd and said, "Ain't no comparisons, man. Michael's the reason I'm here. I'm just doing my part." The audience screamed. Phones lit up like fireworks. And for a rare second, the noise stopped. The internet tried to twist it into a headline, but the truth was too pure to distort. That was the real mic drop, not 50's words, but Breezy's grace. Yet even after that, the memes didn't die. Because the internet doesn't rest. It recycles. 1 week later, new edits appeared, mashups of 50's interview, Chris's quote, and MJ clips synced to dramatic soundtracks. It became meta. People weren't even debating anymore. They were parodying the debate itself. The drama had outlived the topic. That's when you know something's gone viral, when it stops being about what was said and starts being about the reaction to what was said. And through it all, 50 Cent just smiled. He'd done it again, turned conversation into currency, tension into traction. He doesn't drop albums anymore. He drops earthquakes. Every time the culture starts to quiet down, he finds the nearest fault line and stomps on it. And this time, he didn't just make people argue, he made them remember why they cared about music in the first place. But the funniest part, a week after the chaos, 50 posted another clip, not about Chris Brown, not about MJ, just him sipping wine, captioned, "Y'all still arguing? Damn, I was just bored." That's the ultimate troll. No victory lap, no explanation, just indifference. Because that's the secret, he doesn't need to win. He just needs the world to keep spinning around his words. And it did. For days. So maybe that's the real takeaway. 50 Cent isn't just a rapper or a businessman, he's a cultural puppeteer. He understands the rhythm of outrage better than most understand melody. He knows that in 2025, virality is art. And whether you love him or hate him, you'll still watch, still comment, still share. Because the man has mastered the most powerful form of entertainment. Making people care about chaos. And when the next 50 Cent moment drops, because it always will, we'll all pretend we're done feeding into it. We'll say, "He's just trolling." We'll roll our eyes. And then we'll click play. Because deep down, we don't want peace. We want motion. We want madness. We want something to argue about while pretending we're above it. And 50 knows that better than anyone alive. So yeah, maybe Chris Brown is a triple threat. Maybe Michael Jackson is still untouchable. Or maybe, just maybe, they're both kings in different kingdoms. But one thing's for sure, 50 Cent just reminded everyone that controversy still pays, opinions still trend, and silence is for the irrelevant. The man didn't just make a statement, he made history argue with itself. And if that isn't power, what is? If you made it this far, you already know chaos never sleeps. Today it's 50 and Breezy. Tomorrow it'll be someone else catching flames for speaking facts too loud. So don't just scroll past the next headline, look closer, question it, laugh at it, enjoy it. Because in the end, the internet isn't a place for peace. It's a stage for the loudest stories, and this one, oh, it just set the bar higher than a moonwalk.